Hey everybody.
Hey.
We're twins.
Shut up.
Let's see who joins it. I wonder if they could see cocktails with Curt in the back.
If not, it's not. I just don't think.
Go ahead, Ryan.
Oh, I'm getting there. Well, I would go in. No, I gotta go in as me. Right? I gotta go in as me, right? We go through this every time. I'm the tech guy, right? It's not doing it. See?
I think I gotta go on.
I think I have to go in as me and then watch the questions that way. All right, now.
Hey guys. Finally got this one to finally get back onto his grind with cocktails with Curt. Finally got this one to finally get back. You gotta put the volume down.
There we go. All right.
We're back.
We are back. I feel like whenever we go live, the Frenchies always.
How do you like our new mugs? I don't know if you guys can see it. That's mine. We got Mr. Russell. This is one of his. This was one of his. Tell the people why are you being so shy tonight?
Because you chatty Cathy over here. Go ahead, start talking.
GreatHomesATL mugs. They here. I got the stocking stuffers this year for Christmas. So the official. You like the new T-shirts? What are these? Baseball shirts? What do we call these?
Yeah.
Baseball jersey shirts?
No, they're not. I don't know. I don't know. Baseball like.
Baseball like.
So I'm a little. You have to forgive the hair, people. It's when your hairdresser goes to Ghana.
She's literally been over. How long has she been there? Like before the holidays, right?
Yeah, they had a big celebration of some sort going on over there. So she's been there. I need to see you, Erica. I need you.
Erica, if you're turning in, he needs help. He needs help. So we're gonna just open up this edition of Cocktails with Curt, starting off 2020. We'll take your questions. I'll give you guys a little bit of updates, but ask your questions in the comment section if you guys have any problems hearing us. Let us know.
How was our weekend? I'm sorry, my head is down too, guys. I'm trying to see the questions here because I'm blind and can't see it from.
Oh, you didn't bring your glasses, huh? Oh, you have your contacts?
Actually, the sad, I do have them in. That's the bad thing, but I'm still blind nonetheless. So, how was our weekend? Our weekend was good, busy. And so, what did we do this weekend? Actually, it rained. It rained.
If anybody was anybody here, does anybody here live in Atlanta? Because it was crazy weather yesterday.
Yeah, I thought like the Armageddon was outside.
Yeah, the wind was crazy. We went to the gym. Pretty much, we got it in Saturday and Sunday. Went to dinner at Zama's. If you haven't checked it out, that's in Smyrna, Cobb County. We had a good time.
Putting all our spots out there.
Yeah, well, I tagged them that night.
I'm joking.
Anybody like Mexican food? That's the spot right there. We had a good time. And looking at properties today, right? Went around, looked at some properties
saw some
today.
lots.
Some lots. Thinking about building our next one, so getting some ideas. Any more questions coming in? If you have any questions, how this works if you're the first time on live, just put your comments in the...
Why don't we do it like this? Why don't you give a little background in case we have first-time followers, right?
Okay.
Why don't you give a little background about who we are?
Okay.
And I'll kind of jump in and say what this whole little segment is about and what we do. And why don't you do it that way? So
keep asking your questions, as we go. Curt will scan through as we go along. But for anybody that is new to us, we have about, I think, almost 68,000 followers now, which is amazing. Thank you. Lots of blessings.
What the hell is that? Don't ever do that again.
That's the Caucasian coming out.
That is the Caucasian in you. What the hell was that? I've never seen you do that before. Anyway,
it's another way to say we love you guys.
We do love you, but don't ever do that again.
But for anybody that's joining us, we are GreatHomesATL. We are a real estate brokerage firm. Yes, our own brokerage firm. No more like Keller Williams, Coldwell Banker, any of those. We are
love for all.
We are GreatHomesATL, the #1 real estate brokerage firm in Greater Atlanta. So I'm Mark, and this is Curt. So you probably see that in all our posts. Mark and Curt. Those are our Frenchies.
Those are Frenchies in the background.
And our Gotti and Gabby that you probably see as well. We're real estate agents here in Atlanta. We basically,
broker.
Yep, real estate agents. and broker in Greater Atlanta. And as you guys can see, we go out there, we try to find the best new homes, resales, just things to highlight to show you the market and how the market is in different parts, whether it's Cobb County, Gwinnett County, Fulton County, Douglas County. And we just kind of showcase. We showcase our services. All of our services are completely free. In real estate, having an agent represent you never cost you anything. So it's a win-win.
Unless you get somebody that's like trying to hustle you or something.
Right,
but,
right. There are those too.
That'll build in like
these two are like greyhounds all of a sudden trying to run around as we go live.
It sounds like Jurassic Park and it's really just 30-pound Frenchie.
You have to see this. You have to see this little Frenchie. He's hilarious. So yeah, what we do is we have a show called Cocktails with Curt, which he's been slacking on. And
I've been busy.
If you haven't checked into Cocktails with Curt before, go on YouTube or big on YouTube. Type in cocktails.
Hype it up. Yo, he gasses everything. That's all I love.
Type in Cocktails with Curt, and you'll see there's like 34 episodes, questions about how to purchase a home, our experiences, learning about us, all that good stuff. And we're gonna have Cocktails with Curt really jump off in a couple more weeks. We'll film a few more episodes, and then we want to take it into an arena where maybe we have guests come on and kind of give you some knowledge, whether it's mortgage lenders or builders and other agents. So
I think somebody put a question way up, but you were just going on.
Well, you told me to.
I know, but I mean, I forgot you have the gift of gab. But
here's your favorite question that just came in.
What's my favorite question? Somebody actually.
We'll go in order. So
somebody made a comment. Yeah, somebody made a comment a while back up. I can't find it at this point, but they wanted to say that they follow us, but they end up going with a family. But if you still on, it's all good.
Sorry you overpaid. Sorry you didn't get more closing.
It's all good. We wish you the best of luck. And yeah, it's all good. Keep following, keep supporting.
No, we just appreciate the support. Even if you guys don't use us because you have a family member, which is the wrong reason to use a real estate agent. But if you are, send them our way. The next coworker, friend, anybody like that.
All love. Let's see. You said my favorite question, but I can't. Love our page. Thanks you so much.
Give them a shout out. What their name is? Monique.
Monique loves our page.
Monique Baisden. Thank you, Monique. We appreciate the love.
Craven Cole. Hey,
Craven Cole. How's it going?
Yo,
tell us your real name. Why don't you say where you're Instagramming in from, what your names are?
Yeah, that's
that kind of thing. So we know who to call out and send somebody's names are.
And actually, it will help because some of the names I'm like.
Because sometimes people hit us up shoot us a DM hey, this is Rhonda and her name is Sexy Chocolate.
Sexy Chocolate number 1 or something. Yeah.
So we know.
I don't know why that sounds funny coming from you. Sexy Chocolate number 1.
All right.
Anyway,
how do you guys like the shirts? Soon to be GreatHomesATL merch coming. Thanks to this guy, he's been setting up our store and stuff like that. So
on the way.
All our family members, you'll be getting some good gifts coming up pretty soon too. So
it's just a lot going on. I feel like that's what it is.
We do. The holidays were crazy, right?
But I'm glad
we had good holidays. You probably saw our pictures and stuff like that. But yeah, I got more questions coming in.
We got a question. Do you guys rent to own?
Look, disclaimer number 4, is it?
Go to the any post and look at disclaimer number 4. It is right there. That is that. You knew that was going to trigger something.
That's why I said you have a question.
You knew that was going to trigger something.
He hates that question. But real estate agents,
it's the same person. Craven Cole. Yeah, check out our site, man. Thanks for following us. But if you really are following us and you look at all of our posts, go all the way down to the disclaimers, and you will find out your answer right there. Right. But thank you though.
Thank you. But stop renting.
Oh, sophisticated. We're just teasing now. You didn't overpay. It's all love. Like I said, it's all good.
Just kidding. Look, congratulations though. Where did you end up buying? What part of Greater Atlanta? Maybe you could share. Some of your experiences. What your experience was like.
Absolutely. If you want a 4 or 5 car garage. But I have better luck building.
No, not necessarily.
That's from expensive to.
You will have better luck if you have money.
Right. Either way.
Most houses come with 2 or 3 car garage, but when you start going 4 or 5,
that was kind of slick,
wasn't it?
That was slick. I like that. But yeah, it's true. Either way, you're gonna pay for it, whether you go custom route or if you find a house that has a 5-car garage.
Yeah, we've seen all kinds. Of course, you know, when you see 4 or 5 bedrooms, then you know, like, it's going to cost you some money for sure.
Jennifer from Atlanta. Oh,
hey Jennifer. Yep. How's it going?
That's Jennifer that had the family friend that she used as the realtor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she was saying her real name. Hey Jen.
Hey Jen. Yeah, let us know where you bought and maybe, you know, some feedback. We'll share with our followers.
Somebody answered Craven Cole, so he didn't even have to go back to the.
Thanks for reading the disclaimer officially.
Officially legal. Yeah, thank you. I mean, that's somebody that must be following us and read it. So thank you again.
Thank you. Anybody new to Insta, just, you know, type in your comments. Kurt's gonna read them off. But this is
blind, by the way. I'm like, okay, so I think this is Rose Petals.
You want to?
She loves us
higher or something?
No, I'm good. Okay. Why are you trying to let me do me? Let me do me. You see how this guy is? Rose Petals, she loves us. We love you too. Thank you.
I think it's familiar. I think Miss Petals has been following us for a while. So Miss Petals, are you gonna be buying soon? Because I know you've been one of our fans for a while now. So.
Craven Cole is Samara from Atlanta.
Samaria. Hey, Samaria.
That's that was asking for the rental. So she's just saying her name. So
hopefully you've been following these tips have been really good. We've gotten a great response. I've been posting. You know, I always try to post tips about either video or screenshots about, you know, how to improve your credit.
I give you some ideas too. I'm waiting to see where my credit comes in at because
your credit is.
What's my credit? This should be good. And are you know, we're not even.
You give me good ideas.
Okay, that's all I want.
You give me good ideas.
That's all I want.
But no, if you're new to our page, there's so much information. If you go to our IGTV, subscribe to our YouTube because we put a lot of our cocktails with Curt on there. Make sure you tell your friends everything. Subscribe. And I actually have done like multiple videos, like the 6 steps: to income, debt, credit, reserves, down payment, closing costs. So watch these videos. There's a lot out there for you. Some really good tips. And of course, the number 1 tip is if you're trying to buy a house.
Where are you going?
You're asking somebody to borrow hundreds of thousands of dollars. A credit repair person is not going to give you hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Can we do that? Can we just start with that topic? Because I feel like
we get that at least 10 times a day.
And I know you made a post that I gave you the idea to do about reaching out to a lender and going through their credit analyzer.
Right.
I just want to make...
You did it yourself.
No, right. No, but what I want to say with that is I think we need to put some clarity around that.
Right.
So if you're a person that you know you have challenges with your credit, as we all have had at some point, in our credit history, I think if you're at the point where you want someone to analyze your credit and tell you what steps you need to take to improve, to get your score where it needs to be, I think then let's do it. Reach out, have our lenders reach out to you, DM us, and we can do that.
If you're serious about a home.
But if you are just somebody that thinks that it's a quick, somebody's gonna go put some disputes on your credit report,
or remove something from
your credit report, and then that's gonna qualify you. It does not work that way. And if
you're some person that's like missed your last 10 payments, and you still feel like I can do it, you're not the right candidate to be a homeowner.
Because if you can't make your payments on time without having the responsibility of a mortgage, ask yourself, how can you take on the weight of having a mortgage and paying that on time if you can't pay your current bills on time? I think that's, to me, and sometimes even though you could qualify or be pre-approved for a mortgage, I think the big thing is really understanding your situation and making sure you're ready for that. Because just because someone says, I'm going to give you $200,000 doesn't mean you need to say, okay, I'm going to take that if you don't have a way of paying that back.
Right.
So
these are the questions you have to ask the lender when you do it. It's not just about what you're pre-approved for or how to get you to a pre-approval, but what does your down payment estimate look like? What does your closing cost look like? What does your monthly payment? Now understand, like, if you're paying $500 in a rent, or splitting it with a roommate, no, you should not be looking at $300,000 houses with a $2,300 payment.
We get that all the time.
We get that a lot. Yeah. So be realistic about it. Like, it's just common sense, guys. So, but yes, there is a difference. Credit repair is actually a company that is taking your money, that you're paying them to write disputes for you. Now, those disputes have to be resolved in the mortgage process, in underwriting. So it does you no good. Here you paid $75, $100 a month for somebody to write letters and put it in dispute, and maybe your credit went up a little bit.
So let me explain that. I think in other sessions we've kind of done that, but we have some new people that have joined. So what happens is when you take an account that's on your credit file and you put that in dispute, or you hire a company and they file a dispute on your credit file, what that does is while that account is showing in dispute, it is no longer factoring into your credit score. So think about it. Like if if you think about going back to just school, if the teacher took out your lowest grade, if you had all hundreds and you had a zero, let's say, that would bring all that
average.
It would drop. But if the teacher takes out the lowest grade, it doesn't factor it in. You look like you have 100, right? So it's that simple. So what happens is,
but you still got to take that test. It's going to count,
right? You have to take the test at some point.
Just not do it.
And when you have and so in the mortgage process, what happens is when you go to get your pre-approval, what happens is when they run your credit, they see all the accounts that are showing in dispute. So what will happen is you will get pre-qualified or pre-approved under the condition that you resolve those disputes.
So if there's something on there that is a legitimate,
you are going to have to pay.
You're going to have to pay. If it's like I owe $2,000 to a landlord and he put it on my credit, like
it's going to show up.
It might go away as far as
you
counting towards your score, but that's still going to have to be resolved. Yeah. So what our lesson is, it's about not just a credit score, but if you've made mistakes and they're legitimate things, you have to resolve them. But also the biggest lesson is, if you're serious, you have been saving, you make good income, you have your debt under control. It's fine if you have car notes, student loans, all that kind of stuff. They're going to look at your ratios, but you might say, hey, I have a 600 score, but I want to get it to 680. That's what they're going to do to help analyze. Do I have to open up a secure credit card? Do I have to pay 3 of these credit card down by $200? But you have to go to the source, which is the lender who's going to give you that money. A credit repair company is not giving you a mortgage. Right. Credit repair company is like, give me $50, give me $75, so I could type up this letter and get it from 12 people, so I can make over $1,000 a month.
That's
on
all
you.
that is.
So don't waste your time. If you're serious about using your credit to buy a home, you have to go to the source, which is the lender.
And on the flip side, if you know that you're just not in the position and you just know you're not going to take that part of it serious, then don't even waste your time
at that point. Until you get ready.
All right, let's see. I know we got some stuff that came in.
Okay, we got some questions coming in, so keep them coming.
All right, Frizette from Savannah. Hey, I think we missed it. Hey. Frizette.
Frizzy. Hey, Frizzy.
But she said Frizette. No, her real name.
Oh, Frizette.
Look, you playing. I know what I'm doing.
Frizette. I like that name. Savannah.
Let me do that.
Hey, Savannah.
Are you guys hiring?
Not yet, but hopefully. But don't just come and say, "Are you hiring?" Because we're a business, so it can't be like, "Oh, let's hire one of our followers."
No.
It's just like when you apply for a job, and resume.
What do you bring to the table? But once we get those positions and the descriptions lined up,
of course you'll know first.
You guys will all know about it. Absolutely. All right, that was crazy.
I'm trying to rent to own on 23 apartment. Well, if the apartment light's not for you,
set some goals.
Let's explain to them about the rent to own and why we don't do it, and what does that even mean?
Rent to own.
What's the purpose of it? Really?
So the rent to own, what it does is, I have a perspective. I'm not gonna say my perspective. I'm not gonna say my perspective is everybody else's perspective, but my perspective on rent to own is this: you are basically moving into a home,
locking yourself in, and saying, hey, right now, I don't really qualify to purchase this home, but at this point in time, I really want it. So you come into an agreement and say, can I pay you enough dollars of rent, and then on top of that, some of my money will be applied to the mortgage of this home. Here's why I don't think that's a good idea. Because what happens if 3 years from that date, the house starts to fall apart? You're locked into that agreement of you're taking ownership of that home. So therefore, what happens at that point? It's not you have already invested money. Even if you walked away at that point,
you've already invested money up until that point towards the purchase of that home that you don't get back.
And I think and also your life can change in a year, right? So you've locked yourself to a rental where you could have just, saved accordingly, worked on your credit accordingly. We've had a lot of people that thought, well, I don't have enough saved up for my down payment. A rent-to-own is not going to help you in that situation because they're going to, in a rent-to-own situation, they might say, I need $5,000 because that's going to go towards your down payment. Well, I don't have $5,000, right? So your best thing to do is if you need to have a roommate, if you need to go back to the parents or whatever the case may be, but take that year to get yourself in a situation where you can qualify.
And set a plan. I mean, you really have to like put pen to paper and say, you know what is realistic for me and what time frame is that realistic? Because it's not like a race to the fit of who gets there first.
You're 23 years old.
As long as you get there. You know what I mean? So it's like you're 23, so you have a lot. I mean, at this point, I would think, well, you bought your first house.
I bought my first house at 23, but like I tell you guys, the reason why is because I had excellent credit. I used a lot of my college, when people give you gifts for, graduating college, when other people were going off on European vacations or traveling or trying to, front or that clout and buying that Mercedes or whatever out of college. Like I hustled, I worked second jobs. I made sure my credit score stayed over, 700. I saw what, down payment assistance programs were available. I contributed to my 401k plan.
Yeah.
So you have to take a step back. And like I posted today, look at your spending habits. Print out your last 6 months of your credit card statements and saying, how many times am I going to Starbucks? How many times am I going out to eat? And like cut back on that and like create a savings plan for you. Like if buying a home was that easy, right? There would be no rentals. Everybody would just own. Exactly. It's like they are preying on you being financially irresponsible. And unfortunately, how we're taught in high school and college, they not taught in high school. And that's what we're trying to do as Great Homes ATL is obviously educate you on how to become a homeowner. So stay away from rentals, stay away from rent-to-owns. Don't stay away from rentals until you're ready to
Here's
purchase.
the thing. There's nothing wrong with renting. And I know that we make a lot of posts about why rent when you can own. But here's the context around that, just to be very clear. We say that if you are in a position of being able to take on home ownership, then that's who that's for. Right. But it's not necessarily saying that there's anything wrong with renting if renting is what's best for your current situation. So I just want to be very clear about that because it could come off as like negative, if renting is bad.
No, renting, like sometimes people rent because they're waiting, to buy a house with their partner or spouse or whoever the case may be. And there's other people that want to start early because they're just financially responsible. You've contributed to your 401k right out of college. You've been saving, you've been researching, you've been listening to Great Homes ATL, you've spoken to the lender, like you've educated yourself. And a lot of you guys' questions could just be easily answered by just, setting up that introduction to the lender.
All right, are you done?
Okay.
Because
we got more questions.
Wait, what it's time for? This we pause and we make a shout out right now. Okay. Look who just checked in. Ray London.
Shout out to Ray London. Toast to Ray London. Got the new classes.
You so over the top. You are so over the top.
Look at this. We got merch.
Yeah, but
we got merch.
You so funny. Hey Ray.
Hey Ray.
All right. So let me see. I know there's some stuff.
Well, with the perfect score to own a home.
So the perfect score. So here's what you want to explain how the ranges work in terms of like where you start from getting the best interest rates. Right. So like you could.
Yeah, I could break it down real quick. So scores for to buy a house, you're looking at about 580 to I would say 679. Would get you what's called an FHA mortgage, 3.5% down. Not guaranteed because there's more factors than your credit. Your debt ratios might be way off,
or you might not have a job.
So just because you have a good credit score and no job,
right?
So it's the three things: income, debt, credit. So credit is just one leg on that. Now
I will say the weaker you.
No, let me finish the credit. Sorry. So 680. I gotta give you the range.
Okay.
So 679. 680 to about 739. You're looking at like conventional, really good rates. Opens up to programs, no down payment, lower down payment, 3%. Opportunity to get a no private mortgage insurance. You could drop it if you go conventional. And then 740 and higher is the best you can do. Doesn't matter if it's 741 or 789.
Well, actually, speaking of which, you got your credit score.
Got my credit score. I want to say we both got our credit score.
Well, we both got it, right.
We'll put it out there. Tell us your guess what you think our credit score is currently.
And who had the highest score?
And who had the highest score?
I know they're gonna assume had the highest credit score. I'm gonna just leave it at that. All right, so let's see.
We got more questions.
I bought the R. Horton.
The Ryan floor plan. Oh, that's a great
in
one.
Loganville. She just said she closed.
Loganville.
We actually have a deal closing there next week.
We got a deal closing. I forgot the name of the floor plan, but Benita's closing over in Loganville at DR Horton. So she might be in the same community as. It wasn't Shannon Lake. I think it was another community. But yeah, anybody that's interested in that Ryan floor plan, they are building 4 more in South Fulton. So just hit me up if you want to build one.
Okay, we got you're welcome.
It's a 5-bedroom, I think.
Looking to move to Georgia. Well, come on if you're ready.
KD, you ready to move? If you got a job,
we got a job.
If you got your job lined up, come on down.
Can't wait to move this summer. We can't wait to have you.
Hey Jay, house to home. Can't wait to help you.
Oh, that was Rose Puzzle. You must have asked her something earlier.
Yes, I am.
You asked.
Oh, are you looking to buy?
No,
soon?
I think you knew who she was.
Right.
I think you shouted her out.
I shouted her out. Yeah.
If memory serves me correctly.
What is it? RESE.
Remember it was Rose Petals, and you were like, I know that name, but I think you said something, and she responded. So
let us know time frame and all that. We'll get you going.
What about condos in Duluth?
Yep, they have them. I mean, I don't know how to answer that.
Right.
Yep, there's condos in Duluth. The question is, do you qualify for it?
My husband and I are looking to purchase a home in Atlanta. Other than Cali, I feel like we get a lot of
Cali. A lot of Cali, New York.
Cali is raping y'all out there.
Oh
you were living in Cali.
I don't know
how y'all do it because you got there's people working full-time jobs and driving Uber and still struggling to pay their bills.
Still can't.
Yo, come to Atlanta. It's not that expensive. It's expensive, but it's not that expensive.
It looks like.
Oh, they got VA. Okay.
We have VA. Both of our scores are above 750, and we have 401k. When should we start looking? Well, it depends. If you're looking in August, I would say if you're looking to build, and again, it will depend on it sounds like you're going VA, so you won't have to worry about down payment.
Cakewalk.
But of course, like how much you qualify for, you still have to go with. We do have a good Jeff, who's a great military vet himself. So we could put you in touch with him if you kind of just want to get an idea. Your scores sound good. If you've got, approval to work in Georgia, if that's what you're doing. I don't know if it's disability with the VA or you're still going to have a job here, but they're still going to run your numbers, based on your income and debt ratios. I would say if you're looking to build, and that would be dependent on your price point, I would say, to build is about 4 to 6 months. So, consider that time frame. So March, I would assume. If you're not, an area like say you qualify for 250 or something like that, and you're looking to buy brand new in Buckhead, that ain't gonna work, right? So you have to look at resales and stuff like that. If you're looking at resales, within a 90-day period, I would say.
Would you say?
I would say.
I'm glad you would say.
I would say.
Yes, I filed a partner with one of your preferred real.
I've partnered with your preferred realtor, and I'm working on a couple.
Assuming that's lender.
Yeah, I'm assuming it's preferred lender.
Yeah, she's correct.
Hopefully
she did. She did. Yeah.
I mean, agent.
All right, counseling space. Do you work with mixed use property sales? It's kind of commercial.
If it's commercial, we don't because we don't have a commercial license. But we could. I'm trying to think if I know anybody right now. Sometimes we have agents that are commercial that hit us up, but right now, off the top of my head,
we don't.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that was the credit.
Yeah, maybe the credit.
But we're behind here because somebody was, Chatty Cathy over here.
Who would you recommend at a credit specialist? I think we've kind of hit on that one.
Yeah, we hit on that.
There's no really credit specialist. It's credit analyzation. And like I said, if you are, if you are constantly like missing payments, just file bankruptcy, they're not like there's no saviors for that, right?
Yeah.
But if you are like maybe you made a few mistakes a couple years back, you're resolving it, you're in the process of resolving, you're pretty clean ever since, and you just want to figure out how to get your score up to a better program or rate.
That's who it's
then you just send us a DM with your full name, phone number, and email. And I'm sure anybody on here that has gone through the process can let you know. Jeff and Bethany, Mark Scarrett, guys with Homestar Stallings team, they're all really good, so they could put you in that credit analyzer.
Oh, this is Rasheen from Ohio. She gets her degree. She's gonna come check in for us to build a house. So we will be here.
Oh wow, this is great.
Yeah, we will be here for sure. Definitely hit us up, Rasheen from Ohio. I'm assuming.
Hey, Rasheen
from Ohio.
Yep.
Rose petals. Is there a timeline to see results in using credit analysis?
I don't know, because we're actually
we're doing it now. Actually, they can do it once you go for your pre-approval. Actually, this is probably a good thing to segue into. So, let's talk about the fear that people have in getting their credit hit, and why there's no need to be fearful of that.
How many people, raise your hand, do a wave on the comments, have heard, I don't want to get my credit hit because it's going to take, a hit. It's going to take, I don't want to take the points hit.
Did you just put your hand up?
Yeah, just like wave. I mean, do your little wave, raise hand.
The wave emoji.
But no, talk to them a little bit about that.
Here's the thing. If you want to know where you stand in order to figure out where you need to go, somebody has to start by running your credit.
Right. There's no way around it.
There's no way around that. And a lot of us use different scores, Credit Karma, our banks now give different, access to FICO scores.
Cards.
But everybody uses a different
algorithm,
a different score. Really, it goes back to who's loaning you the money. That's who you really care about.
Knowing what your
score is, right? So when you reach out, here's how this works. Yes, you take a 5-point hit.
Maybe 3 to 5.
But if you let multiple lenders run your credit within a 30-day period, you don't take that hit multiple times. You've only taken the hit one time. Because what happens is the bureaus recognize that you are applying for credit, but the same type of credit per se. So they realize that you're shopping around for a mortgage. So they're not going to keep dinging you every single time you're trying to look for a competitive rate by checking with different lenders. So there's no need to be fearful. And then if you're not ready to buy, but again, you want to figure out where you are today, start by seeing what you would pre-qualify for today. You don't have to execute that pre-qualification and say, okay, let's go buy a house. But it's good to know, if I wanted to buy a home today, this is what I would qualify for. And if I don't qualify for a home today, can you put me through the credit analyzer to let me know specifically what do I need to do to get me to a qualifying score? And
not even just a qualifying score. You might be like at a 640, but they might say literally in that credit analyzer, hey, pay this credit card down $200, open up a secure credit line, and your score goes up 40 points. Now, as far as turnaround time, it will all depend on how much you need to fix, right? There might be some people that just have to take care of one thing.
But we have people actually in the middle of their deal. I'm trying to think who it was. In the middle of their deal, they paid something off, and their score went up like 20 points after they were already in the deal. So they end up getting a better interest rate before they close on the house. I can't remember who that was. So
there was sometimes they're going to keep checking your credit throughout the process
to make sure that just because you got pre-approved, you didn't then say, okay, now I'm going to
go buy this Mercedes or open up all these Kohl's and Macy's cards all at once.
When you go under contract for a home,
you want to keep it super clean.
You need to keep it super clean because that lender, they are periodically going to keep hitting your credit. You're not taking a hit every time they hit your credit, but what they're doing is reviewing your credit, I should say, to make sure that you haven't made any changes to what it took for you to qualify for that loan.
And just also on the scale of things that affect your credit, an inquiry is literally the last thing that could affect it. The most important thing is paying your bills on time, not closing down your lines of credit, not overusing your lines of credit. So if you have a $10,000 credit limit with American Express and you've got 5,000, 6,000, 7,000, that's dragging down your score. But once you keep it under 30%, so at 10,000, if you keep it under $3,000, you're going to keep maintaining a better and better credit score until you pay it off. But maximizing your lines of credit, not paying your bills on time, the inquiry is like minuscule. Like that's that 2 or 3 points or even 5 points.
And then when
it's going to be taken care of once you pay the next bill.
Once you pay your next bill, I was going to say you won't even realize that it got hit. Right. Or once you get your next credit line increase, that will make your score go up, so you won't even notice that 3 to 5 point hit anyway.
Yep. So we got some more questions coming.
So the middle score count, yes.
Yes, the middle score.
The middle score is the only score that counts actually when you're going for a mortgage. And just for those that aren't familiar with what we mean by middle score, that is, so you get 3 scores from Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian. Mm-hmm. So it's not the highest, it's not the lowest, it's the middle score. So if you had an 800 and a 610 and a 7, what are my numbers?
740.
And a 740.
The 740 would be
the 740 is going to count, so it's not the lowest score. So
and also, if it's a couple that's going on it, they're going to take the middle score of the lowest of those 2 people.
Because they always figure, again, they're loaning you this money, so they want to make sure how strong is the weakest applicant for this loan. Right. So keep that in mind as well.
Think about it, guys. They're loaning you 100, 200, 300, 800, whatever price point, thousands of dollars. Yeah. You'd want to know, right? You want to know if you're a strong borrower. So they're going to take that middle score, which is it's a fair thing to do.
I think so. It has to be clear before closing. Well, so let me answer the question this way. So if you have things in your credit, the question is related to that.
Right.
Sometimes, depending on what it is, you may not even get pre-qualified because of whatever is on there. In some cases, if the issues are minor, then they will say as a condition to close, you need to make sure that you need to pay this off or resolve this dispute. Mm-hmm. And by resolving the dispute, again, just to remind you guys, by resolving the dispute, all that means is the comment that says dispute, that means that comes off. And that account, if you haven't paid it off or resolved it in some way with the collector or the person collecting the debt, then that will then be factored into your score. And we've seen, actually, that happened to us.
Happened to you.
That happened to us in the middle of one of our first deals, like not as a business, but just personally speaking, where I went through this credit repair thing like everybody else is talking about. And so I know.
We can speak to it because we know.
To it. So what happened was, without knowing, I wasn't trying to beat the system, fudge the system or anything like that. But without knowing, we spent all this money for credit repair. They disputed everything. They resolved it. They gave us our scores back. Our scores had shot up through the roof, and we qualified for a mortgage. We started that process. Then underwriting said, "Hey, you have all these accounts in dispute. You have to resolve them." So for some of them, I was able to just work out whatever the arrangement was with the debt collector. With some of them,
once you paid it off,
I paid it off, and
your score went down.
But what happened was, because they took them out of dispute, and they did a rescore, my score went down. Now, luckily, my score was high enough to where I still qualified. Mm-hmm. But the downside of it was I qualified for a higher interest rate mortgage than what I went into the deal with. So
I would say, actually, the word dispute is actually the worst thing you can do. The only time it really makes sense to dispute something is if it's legit.
Yep.
If somebody's trying to collect a legit debt, dispute is not going to resolve it.
Yeah.
It's going to temporarily up your score, but once you go through an underwriting process, which means underwriter's going to look in great detail at your score, not your score, your actual report, it's going to come up and it's going to really hurt you.
Oh, it's Craven Cole. She likes the t-shirts. Thank you. That was from the conversation. So I remember some of the names I'm behind. Why are you trying to point this out? Like they can't see.
Camera.
They can't see.
That's good.
You're a funny guy.
Mine does too. Should we give our credit scores yet or no?
Well, nobody.
I've seen some of those.
Oh, did you? I didn't see any so far.
Are you guys gonna save the live so I can rewatch? Yeah.
Only if you don't forward. I'm having a real bad hair situation here. I pointed out earlier, so
his hairdresser's in Ghana.
I'm very So all of my African, all of my brothers and sisters, and y'all know what I mean. You all understand. You light skinned, but you don't.
I go to Great Clips.
I'm right. I'm very selective with who touches my head, right? So my hairdresser went to Ghana in December,
right?
There was some kind of a celebration, I said earlier, and I don't know that she's back yet. But as a result, I don't want to just let anybody touch. But people say I should have a backup.
You should have a backup.
People say I should have.
This is Atlanta. You should be able to find a black.
So you know what? If there's anybody out there that does locks, I actually have real long locks. It's just like I said, it's just a bad hair situation. But if anybody actually does good locks or have some recommendations of folks in Atlanta,
send them away.
Send us.
And now like we live on the south side of town, so South Fulton, Douglas.
Yeah, don't send me something in Alabama that I'm not going to Alabama to get my hair done in a pinch. So
Greater Atlanta,
yeah,
close to town.
I do need a backup because I wouldn't look like this if I had a backup. Right?
Anybody else had bad experiences too? Ugh, God, some barbers out there.
Well, I don't know how we got on that topic. I think.
Right. So more questions coming in. More questions. Keep them coming. This is fun.
Oh, because somebody said we're going to say this live. I mean, we could.
Yeah, we will. But I'll put them on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe.
Yeah, YouTube. Go to YouTube.
We can only do 15 minutes on IGTV. So YouTube, I could definitely put it up.
Rent to own is a waste. Yep. It is absolutely.
I want to rent my home and move somewhere else. Is that a good idea? Yeah, it could be.
Well, it could be. And now you have to ask yourself, how old is your home?
Right.
When is it good? When are things going to start breaking down? And once you move on from it, are you still going to want to be tied to those repairs? Because if you rent it, then you are responsible for the repairs.
Yeah. Do like a cost analysis. Yeah. If you think you're going to make only like $100 or $200 on it, probably not because you might have to it might be more of a hassle than it is. But it's always a good idea to keep your portfolio going of owning multiple properties. All right. Next question.
Let's see.
First time home buyer programs. Yep. Georgia Dream is the one we really, really like. We've helped, I think it was like 4 or 5 people last year with that. $15,000 for down payment assistance. The parameters of that, Douglas County, Fulton County, Clayton County, and DeKalb County. You have to make $76,000 or less for one person household, 1 or 2 person household. 3 or more, it's $87,500 or less. Credit score has to be 640 or higher, but from experience, really 700 or higher. You have to contribute $1,000 to the transaction. And you have to take an online course, which is only like a half an hour. So that's a great program, the Georgia Dream Hard to Sit Fund. Hit us up if you're interested in that. You hit that criteria. Has to be a resale home, no new homes for that program. But $15,000 is nothing to sneeze at. So if your scores are good,
any money. I mean, if somebody's giving you money and it's legal, that is good money, right?
It's good money.
Is this part Stacy? I want to purchase a second home. DM us. We can take care of it. We can make that happen. But I guess, is it a question right now, or are you just letting us know?
Yeah, if you want to purchase a second home.
This is the one that just said that should she sell, should she rent her home?
Okay.
Should she sell it? So,
well, it'll depend on your down payment. You would want to go through your pre-approval and also just talk to the lender because they might say you need a certain amount and you need that from the profit of the sale.
But sometimes in some situations, in certain situations, there's opportunities where if you have equity in your home, they allow you, like the lenders can do a bridge loan. So you can take some of the equity out of your home and use that towards your down payment for the next home. So there's a lot of opportunities. So DM us if you want to discuss the details of that further. 680 or above conventional. I think there's like a sidebar.
580 to 679 would be the FHA government. It's a regular loan. It's just backed by the federal government. 680 or above conventional. Yep.
What is the most expensive home you guys have sold?
I think currently something in the sixes. I think.
Yeah, 679.
Yeah,
something like that. 679. So
yeah. If you know any wealthy people out there, send them our way. We're trying to. I want to sell my first $1 million home. That'd be awesome.
That would be. I mean, we could do it. I don't know why we could, right?
We could. Just need people that have.
But I think why I think that. No, I won't go into that. I won't even go there.
We got to get through some of these questions.
Yeah.
7, 6. Oh, people are starting to,
now. This is where
All right. So should we unveil what? So we asked people.
So wait, somebody thinks that I have the highest score at 720. Okay. Oh, this is
So how do you want to do this?
All right, so I'll start by saying I don't have the highest score, right? So, okay, whatever. But how about I tell you this to put some context around this?
But it's not a bad score.
No, it's not a bad score at all. I wouldn't have played the game if it was a bad score. But I'm gonna put some context because I feel like if I do this, it'll be more meaningful than me just bragging about my score.
Right.
So in 2014, right? Yeah,
13,
when we started looking. 2013. Do y'all want to know what my credit score was then? My credit score.
This is when we were doing the credit. Why we needed.
We
tried the credit repair.
We thought that we were like, let's go buy a house, and we showed up.
What was your score?
My score then was a 565.
565.
I had a 565 credit score in 2013, and today my credit score is a 740.
No, it's not.
No, I'm kidding.
I was like, really? Okay.
I just wanted to see if you were paying attention. No, it's a 704, but I'll take that.
704, which is excellent, which qualifies for conventional. We're already homeowners.
Right.
We already, have a nice car,
business. Yeah.
But because of that, right, you are accessing a lot of credit. So the highest score I think you could get is like, what did I say, 839 could be your highest middle score or something like that. 850 is the highest, I think, with Experian or something like that, or Equifax. But the highest middle score is typically 839. So my score, and again,
where did you start from?
My story, I actually went through a lot of hard times back in the late, that's 2 decades ago now. I'm showing my age. The late 2000s, I actually had like a 5, I think it was like 510, because I went through a lot of financial hardships. I lost job, properties, went through some stuff. Today, we just had it run last week, right? Yeah. It came in at 746, which is the top of the top that you can get for a mortgage.
Anything above that,
I'm holding us down. I'm keeping us afloat.
So since you're doing that, when the mortgage comes in, can you just hold that down too? And when the other bill for the lot and the other deals that we're doing, when those come in, can you just take those invoices?
I'm sorry, I'm just too busy selling houses.
But you're holding us down, so it's bills coming in there. D.R. Horton has a new community called Brushy Fork. Have you ever familiar?
Brushy Fork.
Got in on the ground floor. You should go by and check them out. Where are they?
Oh, it must be the Loganville.
The Loganville. Oh, yeah, that's Loganville.
I'll be out there this week, so yeah, definitely
Wednesday,
go check it out.
Right? Wednesday.
Yep.
What credit score? How much?
Roughly what credit score and how much you should have made the call.
All right, we did the credit score. We did that a lot. I think we spent a lot. As far as the question around to qualify for a $300,000 house.
Where did you get that number?
Yeah, where did that number come from? Because do you know what the monthly payment is for a $300,000 house? And I'm not saying that I'm not saying that disrespectfully at all. So don't take it that way. I'm saying that either way. Like, do you know how much?
Where did you come up with
the number? And the reason why where I'm going with the question is the question that I think people should be more focused on is what is the monthly payment that you're looking to spend on a house, and have a lender tell you with taxes, title, insurance, and all of that, how much of a home that would be. Right. So it's almost like thinking about the question a different way. Don't think about the large number, because sometimes the large number could be surprising for the better or the worse. Right. Sometimes people are like, "Oh wow, that's it," or sometimes people are like, "Whoa, like I thought it was something totally different."
I actually have run into that situation. Why we stress about getting pre-approved and going deeper into the pre-approval about how much you want to spend is because I actually, especially early in my career, I would take people out and say, I want a $300,000 house, like you just mentioned. And then we'd find some gorgeous houses, even I think it was even a new home community. And then they ran the numbers for her, and then the lender would be like, well, how much did you want to spend? Because this payment is going to be $2,200 a month. And she was like, the max I want to go is $1,500. I mean, we just spent 2 days looking at houses, and now you're just figuring out that you want to only spend $1,500. You're not looking at a $300,000 price point. You're probably looking at $210,000, $220,000, and probably from what you've seen already and teased yourself to what you can really get, it's going to be a lot harder. So do all the upfront work. speak to the lender, have your credit run the application, discuss exactly where you want your payment to be, and base it off of that. And not only that, find out how much your estimated cash to close is.
Right, that's another thing too, because it's one thing that, like, even if you can afford the monthly
you're
payment,
saying like, I make good income, I have whatever.
Yeah, it's like even if you can afford the monthly payment, you also have to make sure you have the down payment and the closing costs ready. Because while we always say closing costs can be negotiated, you should always come into the situation expecting to have to pay them.
Right.
Because a seller or a builder, they don't have to give you closing costs. It's something that
is negotiated
by us. So.
Hello, God.
Our little
want to pick Gotti up?
Not really, but he's gonna.
Does everybody want to see Gotti? Where's Gabs? Gabs is right under here. Say hi, Gotti. This is Gotti. He's a little over 1 year old now. He's almost on 1.5 now, right?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Want me to hold him and you finish the questions? All right.
Can you just say what's up and then
say what's up?
Say
what's up, Gotti.
You see what's going on?
See the people.
See the people.
Say hi. Say hi, Gotti.
That's all you wanted to see what was going on over here? That's it?
Say hi.
We're kind of working here, okay? All right.
This Gotti and Gabby were my Christmas gift last Christmas. Not this past Christmas, but the Christmas before. And then we have 2 boxers that you probably have seen too. Gizmo and Gigi. They're elders. They're over 10 years old.
I have this. I am creating...
Wow.
W Life? She's like our little credit person. I've been reading the comments.
The hit is deleted in 3 months.
She's kind of answered some of the credit questions, so thank you.
Yeah.
I think I know we've got behind. Yep. You guys' videos are the greatest. Thank you. Double it up.
Thank you so much. I'm glad you enjoy them. I obviously spend a lot of time videoing for you guys.
So the Neek Neek. Isn't that the Neek Neek was your? I feel like the Neek Neek's been here before. I think I know.
They paid my car off and my score went down.
It'll go back up.
But it will go back up. Don't worry about that. Yeah.
No worries.
Just don't because probably it's paid off and the account is closed, right? Because it was paid off. But the next thing you pay, it will shoot back up, and you might even want to open a line of credit, to give you access. Hey, God.
All right. Income requirements.
Have merch hats coming.
Yep. It's coming. We've been really busy. I just want to
Yeah, it's been really busy. We're starting with the shirts. We're starting, updated our website. Check that out. Hope you guys are enjoying that. Another update too is to make it even. We just always are trying to figure out ways to make it easier for you guys. Now, when you register on our website, it's going to go directly to our lenders. So you don't even have to hey, could you put me in touch with my lenders? They're going to reach out directly to you. So all you have to do is register on our website. Obviously, you could also shoot us a DM if you want us to send an introductory email.
I wonder what our website URL is.
GreatHomesATL.com.
Yeah. That's actually pretty good.
It is.
All right, let's see. Income requirements for what? I mean, if to buy a home, you have to speak to a lender and have that conversation, because without running your credit and having that conversation, that's not.
You can't say $40,000 does it, $80,000. It will depend on your individual financial portfolio.
Oh, this is the bridge loan. This is when that advice we gave earlier.
Oh, 10%.
Yeah, that's definitely an option.
We had one of our lenders look into that recently for us, and maybe for you, it really works best if you have a lot of equity in the house for sure.
I just thought I had the highest credit score. It's all good though, but hopefully, even though I didn't have the highest credit score,
he's very close. All it takes is one mistake for me, or one really good payoff.
And I'm just going to tell you like this: we are so competitive that even with our scores, I'm going through the credit analyzer to figure out what I need to do
to bypass
to pass it. So and it's crazy. Who would have ever thought that the guy that came here from New York with a 565 credit score, 2013, will actually be sitting here competitive
in the 700s.
In the 700s, that's crazy.
And you've been in the 700s for a while too.
Yeah, I mean,
high sixes and sevens.
Well, I mean, we've taken on, like I said, a lot.
We did backyard projects. We obviously have a mortgage. We have car notes and stuff like that. But the thing is, I think I've made every payment on time. You've made every payment on time. So that's the key. You have to make your payments on time.
So next question: does $50,000 a year get me pre-approved loan? It's yes and no. I mean, it's more.
That's good money.
It's more than just. It's more than just about income. It's also about your credit. It's about your debt to income ratios. There's
somebody that could be making $150,000, right, but have $125,000 in debt. I've seen it before.
Yeah.
There could be somebody making $50,000 and have $10,000 in debt. So the person that's making $50,000 could be in a better position than the person making $150,000. It's what your bills are, and
yep.
That's.
What's the key to the perfect score? Is there a system? I think the key is they give you like the percentage of what counts highest in terms of like paying your bills on time, the inquiries. Like there's a certain, if you go like I think My FICO or something, it gives you the percentage that way. As far as like your actual credit utilization, that's the biggest one. That's like 35% of your score. Right. So if you have credit cards that the balances on the credit card, it's above 30% of the utilization on that card. That card is weighing your overall credit down. What you need to do is make sure that all of your credit cards are as well below 30% as you can get them. Mm-hmm. And
I think that when I see even on Credit Karma, it's like if you're using 21% of your credit, pretty good. You're going to get a good score. Once it drops to like 19%, it really goes up. Once it goes under 10%, it really goes up. So I would say the key is pay your bills on time, keep it under 30% with the goal of bringing it down to 20%, under 10%. And also the key is don't close your lines of credit.
Yeah, don't close it because that's going to make your score drop.
If you, like 10 years ago, opened up a Macy's card but don't use it,
that's helping you because it shows the length that you had, the age of that credit. So
and
don't close
the available credit. Yeah. So say Macy's gave you $5,000 10 years ago and you haven't used the card, keep it open because that's going to show like you have $10,000 accessible or $5,000 accessible credit.
All right. So did we say bridge loan more info? Counseling, send us a DM. We can definitely put you in touch with our lender. But at a high level, a bridge loan is basically if you are living in a home, planning to buy a new one, and you have equity in the home that you live in
to pull down payment
as a down payment for the next home. But DM us, and we can definitely put you in contact with a lender who can see if you would qualify for that situation. I'm just trying to look these fast because
30,000. Okay. PIT. I don't know what that means.
Principal, interest, tax, insurance, and I don't know what the is, but
yep. We talked about that.
We talked about first-time home buyer. If you're interested, send us a DM with your name, email, and phone number, and we can get you in contact with our lender to see if you qualify for
a down payment
assistance program. Okay.
Is there any first-time home buyer? No. Sorry. How much equity should I have? Oh, is that the same question? Definitely more than 20%, for sure. For sure. Can the homes be built anywhere?
It depends on if you're asking about a specific home or...
Yeah, I don't know how to answer that question. I forget what we were talking about at the time. I have a question. What's this, pedals? If it's... What does this say?
If it's a stupid question, I apologize. Is it smart to purchase positive trade lines before purchasing a home? Positive trade lines. I'm not sure what the reference is. It just...
I don't know what positive trade lines are, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Well, guys, we have a minute and 30 seconds left, so I'm gonna end this so I could save it, and we'll jump on for maybe 15 more minutes to make sure we get 10 more minutes.
You might jump on, but I'm actually gonna call it a night.
Okay, guys. We'll call it a night.
Yeah, this guy
actually wants to see Nene Leaks on the Real Housewives.
I do.
And our girl Giovanna. We love Giovanna.
We do. Yeah.
Giovanna's our friend.
She's that bitch from Clark.
We actually gone to a few of her events. Yeah, she's a good lady.
But yeah, we'll wrap this up and put this on YouTube for sure.
Yep, we're gonna save this.
Register on our site.
Register on our site so you could go through the pre-approval process. Shoot us a DM if you have any questions. DM, full name, email, phone number. It's in every single post, the instructions. And read those disclaimers to make sure you're on the right track. So hopefully you guys are continuing to enjoy the videos. Hopefully you enjoy our tips.
Yep.
Hopefully you enjoy Cocktails with Curt.
And subscribe to our YouTube. Out to us when you're ready to buy your next home in Atlanta.
And don't use that family member shade. See ya.
Cheers, guys.
Take care. Have a good night, guys. Have a good week ahead.
All right.
That's good.
good.
That was engaging. We had like
You're like, yeah, we're gonna be on